Sorry.
So,
not a huge amount. We just covered Ramadan and fasting, and then we were talking about Lent in Christianity.
Length is a very Catholic specific thing, just so we're clear about that. But go on.
Okay. And then we've moved on into talking about the afterlife. And there is the obvious confusion about if Christians commit sin, because they're, in Judgment Day, they're going to be assessed as to whether they've been good or bad. But it does cause the confusion as to, well, if Jesus died for your sins, what sins are you being judged on?
yeah. So basically, whenever the devil entered the world and they follow Adam and Eve, followed the devil and stuff, it released the sin into the world, and then Jesus had to come down to remove that. So he removed all the ordinary sins. So from now, if you follow commandments and don't go against them and stuff, and then you be judged if you go against them, depending on how bad it was. Like, for example, don't take anyone's life.
False.
That's
What this kid is
a
saying.
horrible
Okay.
command.
Firstly, head,
That
because
go
you're
against.
young, I'm going to let you get away with that one, and that's fine. When you get a bit older, I'll
She's an
challenge you on that a little
ex-Christian
bit more.
Muslim now.
But I
She's a
think you're
British
too young to
revert.
challenge.
Yeah, I can't
That's
debate.
I don't know how old you are, so
a
I'm
little
not going to.
less intelligent than the
I get the
most.
feeling you're a little bit young for me to be pushing you on that.
He's
I won't.
young. He doesn't know.
In Islam, basically, we have people die and they get put into their graves. On Judgment Day, there will be a sound, which is a horn, and then we will all be remade.
5661.
Tips.
He kicked me for no reason.
So everything is going to get remade, and we will be asked many questions about our life. Yeah.
That's really similar to Christianity because it's just really similar to
talking about the trumpets. Is that what you're going to make reference to?
Yeah, trumpets and stuff. Well,
no, that's what you're going to say.
There we go. And there we go. Auto counts down. Count. Alright, this is Jimmy Swordsman.
Had your reward in this life, so you don't need it in heaven. Do you see what I mean? So that's Matthew 6 is a place that I really liked. And this is very similar to Islam in that respect. So it's all to do with your intention. If you were doing it for the glorification of yourself, then you've already had your reward here. You can't then ask God for, double dips and ask for a reward there as well.
What's the rule about killing people in Islam? It's just a really curious question, and then I'll follow up.
Okay. Do you know why you've asked me that question? Because that will help lead me to the answer you're
looking
for.
Yeah. So basically, in Islam, there's a bunch of people that, terrorists, they suicide bomb places, and say Allah Akbar, which is I love God, and
God if you die, Allahu Akbar means God is greater. No, not God is greater. God is bigger. Allah is bigger.
The first one I'm going to go to is
Allah means
if you kill an innocent person, it is like you have killed the whole of humanity. If you save an innocent person, it's like you've saved the whole of humanity.
Completely false.
So if you kill an innocent person, it's like doing the whole of humanity. Can you imagine standing there on Judgment Day where are you going to go? That direction, it feels like. It feels like you're going to be feeling some fire. It's not that direction, is it? So, but that's what they say. The other thing is, there were some battles, and so we have instructions on how to conduct ourselves with war. So, no killing children, no killing women, no harming a tree or cutting down a tree. No harming a blade of grass, just no harm unless it's specifically somebody's attacking you and you are trying not to get attacked, basically. So it's not a pacifist religion. We are able to defend ourselves. It says in one place within the Quran, in the Torah we gave you an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But essentially, I forget the exact words. But essentially, it's better if you can forgive. So one of the points was when the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had won a battle, and he had all of these people in front of them. You could enslave the people you've captured. You could kill all the people you've captured, or you can do what he did and let them go.
False. He did not do that.
He just let them go.
He had to convert them first, and then they would go.
So this is an indication that we don't think that it's a good idea to kill people. These are not proper Muslims. And I'll give you an example. I'm trying to. The normal examples I go to are not very good examples because you're too young. But I will say, Christians have killed a lot of people. A huge number of people.
Not true Christians.
And they do it for all manner of saying this is to do with Christianity and for God.
Unbiblical.
And I really don't think it ever really was. And there's some quite nasty people in Christianity. Hitler being one of them. We mentioned him earlier. He was Christian. Not exactly being a very good Christian, let's face it. In Islam, we also have some people who are not very good Muslims. Yeah? So there's people on both sides who are not very good. What's in the middle is where people really exist.
Them?
Not the Hitlers and not the ISIS people who are doing all of that. That's not what the religion is about. Yeah, but this is not what religion is. It's not about. That's nothing to do with the religion. These are people who are just being evil and killing and blaming it on religion in the same way that Christians did the Crusades and killed loads and loads of people, and Hitler went off and killed loads and loads of people, and lots of other people went off and killed loads and loads of people. It's not because God told them to. So it's not because somebody told them to, it's because they're just really bad people and they were just going to do lots of evil things. Same thing.
They weren't Christians.
Islam is perfect. People are not.
Hitler was not a
those
Christian,
people are
you
definitely
idiot.
not.
I really want Jenny to take an IQ test. I think that would be funny.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, I think this is the last slide.
Is this a slide?
Yeah.
Wait, you've been here since?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, Kubi's in here. My favorite Muslim.
It takes a while, and to be honest, we had some quite disruptive influences. But we've got some, people who are less disruptive at the moment. I had devout Muslim in a second ago.
Oh, okay. Because I left.
She's calling devout
came back,
a Christian. He's an atheist.
I came back and you're still there.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
an
still
atheist.
It's funny.
But we made it through a slideshow, and we've got some people's opinions, and we actually got some people talking, which was nice.
6 minutes?
Because it was a little bit difficult to get everybody chatting to start off with.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like pulling teeth today, but, feel free to input. What else should I have on my slides, do you think? Which would be helpful? Because these are my AI-generated starter for 10 slide deck. What would be good? You've got an idea?
You should have like a slide that says question time, and then people can ask anything if they need to.
Well, this is question time, so you feel free to question away. What would you like to question about? Do you have a question?
Oh, that's very direct.
You sit and have a think. I do
Mm.
tend to be quite direct. You're right. I don't know if anybody else who's come in the room had anything they wanted to bring up or say. Okay.
Yeah, it's right here. I'm not sure if that's a troll or not.
No, I'm not a
No,
troll.
that's not a troll. That's
I'm a
not a troll.
fuzzy.
That's my friend.
Yeah.
That's my friend.
They're very young, but they were the only people who were talking to me. Well, apart from Galahad.
I
So
have a question.
they got to stay. Yeah, go ahead.
So, in the room over there, there's like, I see it all over Instagram and then on social media. It's like a black black
The
wall. I
black
don't want to like,
box.
yeah, the
Kappa.
black box. Yeah, isn't it like very good to touch it if you can touch it like during like prayer time when people go over there?
Many people do touch it because it's
Sorry.
Can I touch your
it's
head?
where we...
I hate niggers.
Go away, go away, go away.
Oh.
God, gone. So it is one of those things. It is a historical monument, if you like, if for want of a better word. And it's if you do get the opportunity to touch it, people do touch it. But it's not something we worship or anything like that. It's a place where we go, which is on our pilgrimage, which is called Hajj. One of the parts of that is to go around the Kaaba 7 times. So yeah, if you can touch it, then people do, because people quite often only go on Hajj once, and if the opportunity arises, they will do.
Have you touched it?
I haven't.
You
I haven't been on Hajj yet.
Yeah, she's
so
in Britain.
hopefully I will do.
She's in
Charlotte.
the UK.
So
I did it.
I see. There you
Kubi
go.
did his pilgrimage?
I have another question. I don't know
Go
if this is so I live in Florida, and there's like I went to Fan Fest for the World Cup, and there's these Saudi Arabian people wearing like a red scarf with the black loop around it and a white outfit. Do you know what that's called?
Kubi, do you know what that's called?
Soap.
So
Oh, I thought that was the KKK.
that's
it
a
like-
white pointy hat and a white gown.
Yeah, I don't like
Yeah.
them guys.
No, I wouldn't. They're not very nice
Oh.
people.
Oh,
There's some of their nasty ones on your side.
I forgot
We
to
were
change
talking
my
about
outfit.
So, Fuzzyhead, what's the matter?
I have a really
Fine.
good story about a guy that was in the Ku Klux Klan.
Are you sure it's a good
just-
story?
No, it's a really good story. It came out
Okay.
of it. It's really good.
Mm.
So
Okay.
basically, he was a part of it. He was the leader, one of the leaders of it. He believed in it for a good while, and then this Christian invited him onto a podcast to ask him questions about it, and then he kind of started believing more in God and stuff, and he kind of started to fall apart from the KKK, and then he really did believe in God, so he left the Ku Klux Klan and became a preacher full time, and just became a good guy.
See how Jenny's so kind with
that's
them,
nice.
but not us?
That is a much better story.
Jenny don't like
Because
us.
those guys do an awful lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, just like Islam.
Yeah, I've
An
seen it.
awful
It's
lot of
not
bad
nice.
stuff. So, I don't want to go into details because I know you're young.
Endorsing
Never,
child
never,
marriage.
I think there's
Yeah.
another one that's very naughty.
Why do people keep doing that?
Well, I don't know. You're closer to their age group than I'm ever going to be again. So,
They
I'm
just
really
try to get
old.
people mad. It's just
Like-
like this.
I had friends that were they were texting me, like, what are you doing in a Christian lobby, like, learning about this? And they were gonna say, I'm gonna join and troll this place. I'm like, please don't. Jenny's teaching is so good. I need
Oh, I'm
this.
glad you like it.
Jenny doesn't
You do,
teach
like,
you
oh,
anything.
sorry. Do you want to go
No, go ahead.
first?
You
Alright.
have to go first.
Do you, do, like, friend-only sessions, like, where there is no trolls and stuff?
I'm sorry, buddy.
Sometimes I just do switch to friends only, yes.
Could I add you? Oh, wait, I might actually... No, I don't. Would I be able to add you?
Yes. Because you've
You're
been
very
very
hesitant.
respectful. I don't have an awful lot of children on my kids list. Hello. Did you have something you'd like to say?
I'm kinda a listener. I like to join and listen, but I don't know what's going on. Before like 3 days, you just kicked me, so I don't know what's the reason.
I can't remember.
I don't know. You told me what's religion you are on, and I said I don't want to say. Then you kicked me. I felt like, why?
Okay, in this room we are having faith-based discussion. So we get an awful lot of trolls in, and an awful lot of people shouting, and an awful lot of people yelling, and sometimes my patience is very worn thin, and I would like to be more patient, but I'm sometimes not.
Enemy is because Israel.
So think it. No. The reason why there's an Israel is because the West creates an exertion of influence in the region without needing to be completely, present in the region militarily. That is. So they use a vassal state called Israel as an extension of its own.
More likely to get kicked as a troll. Also in this room, just because I just ask people what faith they are, so for seating arrangements, because generally I have Muslims on this side and Christians on this side, and at the back it's everybody else who could be an atheist, a Buddhist, a Sikh, or anything else. So it just helps in the conversation, because we found that the Christians were focusing on one individual when they were trying to ask questions, because they thought that was the only Muslim in the room. So it helped to be able to see, actually, there was loads of Muslims in the room. We're all able to answer questions, and different people would probably want to, answer. And I've started focusing all questions to myself, so that if there are multiple people in the room, they can just put up their hands because they would like to answer the question, or they would like to ask a question. And that way I can try and make it fair when there's a lot of people in here. There's not so many people today, so it's not so bad.
Understandable. But that day was a very nice conversation going on. I was there just listening, but apparently I got kicked. So I wish you can be more patient, because not everyone is trolling. Some people like me like to listen to the conversation. I don't want to add things to it. I just want to listen.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like I said, sometimes there's a lot of trolls. We've just had Devout Muslim in here, who is probably one of the most horrible people on this app. And so these people get kicks and blocks very, very quickly. So sometimes I could probably do with a bit more patience. But honestly, if you're stood here for 2 hours having the number of trolls coming through that I do...
No, he's not. He's actually
I do my
a really nice
best.
person.
Understandable. Thank you.
Okay.
Jenny, sorry.
Okay, go ahead. What are you going to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say I have to go because I have a Christian church youth group.
Okay. You going to your Christian church?
All right. Have a good night,
I'll
everybody.
see you next time.
Yep.
See ya. You staying or you going?
No, I'm going. I'm staying.
Okay. You got a question?
I got a question for two people.
Yeah, just say your question.
I will
Somebody will
start
answer.
with Jimmy. What faith are you?
I'm a mix between Christianity and Islam. I teeter-tottering.
Undefined.
Yeah.
Hashim.
That sounds quite good.
Okay. What language is your native?
I can speak Arabic and English. My native language is Arabic, and I can speak Spanish a little.
It's just I like to know what language people speak in case I can speak it. It's just a question. So thank you.
What languages do you speak?
A little, like, I would say a mid-bit of Spanish. I can understand Russian, but hardly speak it. English. I like the tiniest bit of French.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna get blocked.
Yeah, learn more as you get a bit older.
I thought she would recognize
And
me.
hopefully you'll be, get loads of practice in these rooms, because there's so many different languages spoken here.
Yep.
Good times. So, Jimmy Swordsman, you've intrigued me. Why are you half and half with Christianity and with the Islam?
It's because
And
I'm
how
like,
can we move you?
it's because I'm like learning
to our
about both
side?
of them, learning what both of them offer and all this stuff. So I'm kind of unsure.
So, have you got a question that maybe we can talk about?
No,
Anything that's floating around?
I'm still reading on both of them. Doing research on them, looking into the history of it. I like to look into history of religions and stuff like that. It's interesting.
I'm just starting to put a YouTube channel together, mostly because my shared desktop wasn't working.
Okay.
So I've got a few videos on a few bits. If I can, if I've got a general gist of which direction you might be going in, I can put a couple of bits up.
No. I'm researching them both. I'm still kind of in the middle.
Okay. I've got a question for you then.
Okay.
What do you know about women's rights in Islam?
Women's rights? Not much.
Okay. Right. Do you know about women's rights in Christianity?
No, I haven't looked that deep into it.
Okay. It's obviously a key topic for me, and it's one that I had burning in my head, obviously for making the move from Christianity into Islam. It was one thing I had to sit with for quite a while and work out all of the different aspects before I made the jump.
Okay.
So, is this something which is of interest to you? Because some people say that, that women are oppressed in Islam, which is entertaining because it's not true.
Yeah, it's a point of interest for me.
Okay. What I'm going to do is there's a little poem. It's not long. I think it's about 5 minutes. I'm just going to put this on because I just want to give you perspective, and take it from that perspective, and then have the conversation with you.
Okay.
So let me see if I can just grab that from my YouTube. And I haven't got very many videos on here because I only set this up this week.
Okay.
It's only because my I said it just wasn't working.
It might be because you have a VPN on. That could be the reason, or your
no,
headset's...
there's no VPN. There was an update that happened.
An update?
And then all of a sudden, everything's gone weird and wonky because my remote desktop thing was working just fine. So I'm hoping that they fix the weird and wonky. But to be honest, now I've kind of got the YouTube thing. What I'm just doing is my slide deck, instead of showing my slide deck, I'm just taking a movie of it and putting that on the screen instead. So, I mean, I found my workaround. So we're just doing that. So,
you could also try to uninstall it and reinstall it.
Oh, I did that one. It didn't work.
Okay.
Now, how am I getting to my videos?
I'm so close to being caught. I'm pretty sure he's
There's some
suspicious
I'm
of me.
looking into.
All
but
right.
This was a lovely poem. 5 minutes.
You know, something must be wrong
wish I could
when
pull this up
almost
for you
every
guys,
single
but,
song has sex as its
my
basis.
thing isn't really working.
When rap stars get
try to log
famous
into
after
my
making
account,
lyrics
but,
that are shameless. When a woman is expected to sleep with a man who doesn't even know what her name is. And when artists are paid to degrade the very women that have made them. To the point they are nothing more than pieces of plastic that we can dispose of once they are no longer attractive. It's
women
sickening
are
and
oppressed in
sadistic
Islam.
that this world's become so misogynistic. And you can call me unrealistic, but just listen to the statistics. 7 in 10 men view porn, while over 75 million are addicted. 68 million requests a day for pornographic pictures, making 1 in 4 searches sexually related.
A lot of them are
It's like
women.
nobody even knew she existed until she got naked, degraded and abused.
Actually, there's a lot of women
over
pedophiles
again just to
that
gain
don't
millions of views.
really.
It's a shame we've subdued to a definition of beauty,
they just get let
which
off
is
because
so
the
misconstrued.
kid consented to it.
As we
The
judge
kid
each
wanted
other's
it.
looks
The kid
off of
put himself on it.
Facebook likes,
That's completely false. It's a
Instagram
kid. There's
pictures
no
to filter
sort
off
of
what we
consent with
really
it.
look like. See, we are so obsessed with
Yeah, a
our
lot of them aren't
outside,
women.
we have slowly
And that's
lost
just
sight
like
of who we really are
going on the site
in
and
real life.
searches for it. It's not actually
it's
going for
sad
kids.
to see so many teens lose their self-esteem. Looking at these magazines thinking they have to look like what they see. Please, you are worth much more than a 2D image on a screen. You are a living, breathing human being. If
the Twin Towers,
only you knew what you really mean. Just look into your history books and begin to read of all the girls in the world who were capable to achieve, and you will surely see with certainty females like Fatima al-Fihri, who opened the first ever university, Rufayda al-Islamiyya, the first nurse to perform surgery, and Aisha bint Abi Bakr, the greatest female scholar in eternity. It's a shame you probably haven't even heard of these great female prodigies. Honestly, we don't need to give up our modesty in order to be successful. For you are worth much more than a commodity that is sexual. You have so much more potential if only you knew your worth. You could be like the greatest of all women, this earth, like Mary, the mother of Jesus, chosen by Allah to be an example for the believers.
Chosen
a
by
woman
God,
who stood
not
strong
Allah.
even when she was abused, falsely accused and ridiculed for things she'd never ever do, so it didn't really matter when there was nobody else beside her. For she knew that God was Ar-Razzaq and her ultimate provider, and she had to trust in him alone. Just like Asiya, the wife of Fir'aun, a woman who was brave and courageous, stood up for what was right and didn't let anybody change this. A woman who was fearless and laughed in the face of death, for she gave up the riches of this life for a palace in the next. Next up, Khadija, the mother of the believers, a wealthy merchant who had nurtured the Prophet for over 25 years, his first wife, the love of his life, and the mother of his kids. She was the first to believe in him when nobody else ever did. She just is, beyond any words that can make you understand. So much so that even Allah sent her his salam. She was grand and Allah assured her, just like her daughter Fatima, the master of all women in paradise, a woman who would shine so bright she was nicknamed as Zahra, the splendid one with the most generous of hearts, a woman who gave up so much of her food she had no choice but to fast. She would fight on behalf of her father even as a little girl. And such are the examples of the greatest woman in the entire world. And it had nothing to do with how they looked, but for who they truly were. So ignore the standard of success defined by society, when God has said that the best of mankind are those who have piety, regardless of your shape, your color, or your race. For God does not look at your bodies, nor does he look at your face. Rather, he looks towards your heart and checks your faith. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the people say or who they think you are, when you could be like the greatest of all women in the eyes of Allah. The greatest woman.
That was really good.
It's a really good poem, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like him. And I think there's something about when you hear an Arab voice speak, it comes from a completely different place.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got your hand up.
Yeah,
Just while
it'll
you're
just
having
be,
a think.
it'll just be really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just to let you know, in case you're like nervous or anything, that you've shown me anything that I haven't understand or learned yet, I am old enough to understand what that was about, so don't worry about that.
Okay. I don't think there was anything particularly bad, so there's nothing graphic in there, so I wasn't, I thought you were old enough to understand that bit.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So, Yeah, there is a few areas in terms of women's rights. One which is interesting for me is to wear the hijab. And to cover. Now, I'm in the UK, so I'm having difficulty making that leap because of the amount of aggression and anger towards people at the moment. But I do wear it for, many occasions and will continue to do so, and hopefully be able to increase the amount I can wear hijab. And but at the moment, if I'm out in public wearing hijab, I am accompanied because people are aggressive. Sorry, you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point that a lot of the same people that complain about women wearing hijabs forget that nuns wear head coverings too,
Well, these people who complain about hijabs can, look to Mary, who
Right?
was
Mary
covered.
wore them
One
too.
doesn't blow
Exactly.
up, god damn it.
I'm a Catholic man, and I think women are beautiful
One
with
doesn't blow
hijabs.
up.
Like, absolutely stunning, beautiful. In fact, they're more beautiful when they're
Catholic
covered, in my
supporting a
opinion. It's
damn
just like,
Muslim?
I don't know.
Damn.
It's more of a divine kind of. I see their intention and why they wear the hijabs. The intention is to remain pure and
Then why do the kids wear the hijabs?
refrain from any kind of lustful thoughts that men might have, and other reasons too. But
why do the damn kids wear them?
to help with that.
Yeah, the main reason that this is something I'm struggling to take on is because God has commanded me to do so. But there is an awful lot of growing up in as a Christian country, and I've got boobs, and men's eyes go to the boobs. And when I'm now much more covered. I've been changing some of my clothes bit by bit. I can now get eye contact. It's much easier to get and hold eye contact, and that's the bit I was trying to get people to look at for most of my life, and now they're not looking at my legs, and my clothes are not quite as tight as they once were, so they're not spending the time looking at my tush or my boobs. They're actually looking at my face. It's so much easier to have a conversation that way. So there is quite a bit of, it's an empowering thing to do. And if you look at some of the singers that are around and them teeny weeny little skirts, and I'm thinking they complained about me wearing teeny weeny little skirts as when I was a teenager, and it had like 10 times the material that some of them have. It's ridiculous. I don't, people seem to be feeling like they have to get practically naked to sing a song.
Agree. People shouldn't be,
which makes no sense to me at all.
But they shouldn't.
And it's teenagers are trying to follow that as a fashion, and it's concerning.
It is.
And
people shouldn't
you're certainly
be
not getting
practically naked and
respected
all
for
this.
dressing like that. I'm not saying that I'm gonna be looking down on people or anything else like that. I'm a feminist. I'm gonna believe a woman can do whatever she likes, but I do worry for people.
Islamic feminist.
And I know how much easier and more respected I am when I'm more covered. And I think this is something that would be helpful to teach rather than just showing endless videos of people getting their boobs out.
You mentioned earlier that God commanded women, or maybe I misheard this, but did God command women to wear covers? Like, is that a religious requirement, or
what he said is he referred to a garment which covers the head, which we no longer have, and said that we should use this to cover your adornments, your bosom and your adornments.
Oh, the adornments. Okay.
So now this comes down to what an adornment is. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he made certain prescriptions and said is the face and the hands and feet is the only thing that should really be visible.
He would cut off the hands.
So that
and the feet.
is hijab. if we're wearing one of those.
Right.
There is
Yeah.
also niqab, which goes across the face, and then burqa if you're covering completely.
Okay.
And some of that is going to be cultural, depending on which country you're living in, and some other things. But this is what the Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him was indicating.
So it was a command. Is that what it was? Like some kind of
In
a
the
commandment,
Quran,
or
if it's
yeah?
in the Quran, this is the word of God.
Okay.
So when the word of God says that I should take a garment which is made to cover the head, and use that to cover my bosom and other adornments, this is what it feels like to me.
I understand. Okay. Thank you for that
So
explanation.
this spring, and some of the women who were brought up within the poem, many people don't know that the first university was set up by a Muslim woman. And rights given to women, for example, to own money, have their own money, and own property, and these sorts of things. These were novel ideas and new. This is back in a time when little baby girls were routinely buried at birth, buried alive. Sorry, you might be a bit young for that one. But this was a routine practice. As I believe it was in China for quite a while, because it was a shame to have a girl and a blessing to have a boy.
Yes, that's correct.
So yeah, this is a difference. But to have these rights of equality and be able to divorce your husband and not be given as property. So I suppose this does bring us to the Christian perspective, where I don't have somebody old enough in a Christian perspective to be able to give that. So 1 Corinthians 11:3 down to 6 covers that there is Christ, there is man, there is woman, all the way down the bottom. And in some places, in some versions of the Bible, it says that man should worship God and the woman should worship man, not even to be able to worship God. Which is where,
that part.
which is, and
St.
also
Paul wrote that?
There's the coverings under. Yes, 1 Corinthians 11:3 down to 6 pretty much gets you covered. If you want to have a quick look at that, I'll be within just 2 seconds. I want to cover a couple more points, just while I was remembering. So nothing within the Bible gives you women any rights at all.
Funny.
Most of the rights that we have are very modern in history.
Completely false.
For example, the rights to have money. Money would be given to the husband or whichever male was in charge of us. If we inherited, it would have that any inheritance would go to whichever man was in charge of us. We were unable to work, we were unable to get an education, all of those sorts of things. So 1400 so years ago, women in Islam got rights that are very new to Christian society. And what you just saw in the poem was a guy who's Islamic, who comes from that tradition. And what I have really found from my own individual perspective, because it is only mine, and some cultures are different, for example Afghanistan, but having a 1400 years of a history of having respect for women is much more ingrained than when it comes to Christianity, which means it's fluff on the top of the usual level of misogyny. So I've got two people asking a question. Can I do Jimmy and then do you
believe in hadiths?
Is that okay? Yep.
Okay, so
Jimmy first.
One of my friends brought this to me because I was talking to him about how I was looking into Islam, and he brought up the hadith Sahih al-Bukhari 2658, which states the Prophet said, "Isn't the witness of a woman equal to half of that of a man?" The woman said yes. He said this is because of the deficiency of a woman's mind.
Okay, so remember what I said, Islam
Prophet
is
Muhammad?
perfect, people are not. Even prophets on occasion. Prophet made mistakes on a couple of places. Yes, he made
Oh
mistakes. He
my God,
apologises in the Hadith for some of the
she's
mistakes he's made.
delusional.
So I do draw a distinction between the two things, and also culturally, because there is a difference in culture. So I do struggle with some of these parts within
She's
this,
delusional.
and I am still struggling with a couple of the elements. Now, in terms of in law, when it comes to business, a woman's word is not worth half. A woman needs to have another woman with her to remind her. Most women had nothing to do with business back in this time. Men did have to do with business, men did work, women did not. So to accurately be able to portray something within a business setting for a woman is likely to be harder for her to do. If I would have written it that way, I probably wouldn't, but I therefore come from a Christian background, so what do I know? I'm not God. I don't know what I would have written if I were, because I'm not a god. But I take the collection of views. There is also part within the Quran which says somebody who has breastfed one of your children is then for example, a sort of member of your family, therefore not available to be married, for example, by another member of your immediate family. It lists who, in what circumstance. How, on those types of questions of, whether she is or isn't a member of the family, and that goes into courts, you can have 1,000 men turn up and give their evidence. The only evidence relevant is that of the woman. Only woman's evidence is given in these circumstances, because this is an area which is a sort of woman's domain, and where women will know that information and men would not. So there are certain areas where women do know things. There are certain areas where men, because of the culture, are more likely to know other things. So it's, women have different roles, men have different roles. So it's not ideal, I grant you, and particularly from a Western mindset. But I have not fully acclimatized into the mindset. Like I said, some of it I find difficult. This is one area that I find difficult. That doesn't mean to say I'm right and God is wrong, because why would I say such a thing? I find it difficult to adjust. You had a question, Fuzzy.
Yeah, so basically, I seen this thing on YouTube. I can't really remember because it was a good while ago, and it was similar to the thing you said about the Chinese people burying their daughters alive. I don't know if this is like religious related, but back then I can't remember what race did it, but they slammed like their baby's head off like a tree or something. If
I forgot. Don't you live in
That one knows me. I can't
you
do
live in
that.
Brazil, right? Gateway.
Yep. I'm a Latino.
All night long,